In every war, some stories never make it into the official reports. Some soldiers simply vanish between the trees, swallowed by a silence no one can explain. This is the story of Patrol Eco 7, the unit the world decided to forget. They were sent on what was supposed to be a simple retcon mission. Lieutenant Harris, the steady, no-nonsense leader. Corporal Banse, the joker of the squad, the one who never seemed to fear the dark. Medic Thompson, the quiet mind who, in contrast, feared just about everything. And Rookie Reyes, the newest member, still trying to grasp what real war felt like. Harris's voice cut through the damp air. Stay close. Radio silence. Alias. Sharp. For now, it was just another patrol, another walk through the woods. But this forest was different. A sudden crack of a branch snapped them to attention. Everyone halted. Reflist Ray said. Vance whispered. Animals. Or something else. Thompson, his eyes wide, shook his head. Animals don't move like that. There was only silence, the heavy, waiting kind. And then, the forest gave them its first warning. A distant scream echoed through the trees. A sound not quite human, not quite animal, but something horribly in between. The patrol exchanged uneasy glances. No one had an explanation. The mission parameters didn't mention this. Following the direction of the scream, they stumbled upon something that stopped them cold. A long-abandoned trench line, scarred into the earth, covered in moss and decay. Rusted helmets and broken rifles littered the ground like fallen leaves. Reyes, his voice barely a whisper, said, "Sir, this isn't on any map." Harris knelt, examining the rotted wood of the trench wall, because whatever happened here, aside grimly, no one wanted it written down. As if to prove his point, Reyes unearthed a set of old dog tags from beneath the damp soil. He wiped the dirt away. These soldiers, they disappeared 50 years ago. It was a battlefield frozen in time. But as they would soon discover, something still moved beneath the soil. Harris decided to break radio silence, hoping for some clarity from command. He turned on his radio. First, only static filled the air. A harsh, grating sound. Then, a weak, distorted voice struggled through. Echo 7. Turn back. They're still here. The team froze. The voice was faint, but the words were clear. Vance broke the silence. Who the hell is that? All frequencies encrypted. Harris had no answer. No idea. But we keep moving. But Thompson grabbed his arm, his face pale. Sir. That voice sounded like... He paused, swallowing hard. It sounded like me. An impossible thought. But the seed of dread was planted. The feeling of being watched intensified. They started hearing footsteps behind them. The soft crunch of leaves. Every time they spun around, there was nothing. Just the endless, suffocating rows of trees. Something was following them. Something unseen. It seemed to understand their movements, their patrol patterns, their growing fear. Reyes couldn't hold it in any longer. I feel like we're being watched. Harris tried to sound reassuring, but his own voice was tight. In this forest, everyone is watched. Just then, the branches of a nearby tree swayed and bent, as if in a strong gust of wind. But there was no wind. Not a single breeze. The air was unnaturally still. Vance was the first to find the next clue. Fresh footprints in the mud. But something was wrong. They were barefoot, and impossibly small, like a child's. Kids? Out here, he muttered, confused. Thompson knelt beside him, his medical training giving him an eye for detail, and for things that were wrong. No kid leaves footprints going in 2 directions at once. He pointed. The tracks, originating from a single spot, split off in opposite directions, as if a person had walked left and right at the exact same time. It was a physical impossibility. In that moment, they all felt it. Logic died in that forest, and in its place, fear began to breathe. Deeper in the woods, Tay found it. An old military camp. It shouldn't have been there, but what was truly chilling was its condition. The embers of a campfire were still warm. A pot of food sat nearby, still fresh. but there were no people. Not a soul. Someone was here minutes ago, Reyes said, his hand tightening on his rifle. Stay alert. Weapons ready, Harris commanded. His own unease growing. He moved toward one of the tents, cautiously lifting the flap. Inside, on a cot, lay an open journal. He piqued it, up his flashlight, illuminating the frantic handwriting. Erre de la Hood, his voice low. They don't attack, they don't speak. They just smile in the dark. As the words left his lips, the bushes around the camp shook violently. A shadow, dark and impossibly fast, darted past their periphery. There, on the left, Vance shouted, opening fire. The burst of gunfire was deafening, echoing through the silent woods, and then, just as suddenly, it stopped. The silence that followed was worse than the noise. It was heavy, and it was wrong. Thompson was the first to notice. Where's Reyes? They spun around, searching the small clearing. The rookie was gone, vanished without a sound. Harris grabbed his radio. Reyes? Sound off. Reports. Only static answered. Then, a faint whisper broke through, distorted and filled with terror. It was Reyes' voice. Don't. Look behind you. And in that moment, as they stood frozen in the dark, haunted woods, Patrolico Sevan finally realized the truth. They weren't on a recon mission. They weren't hunting anything. They were being herded, trapped in a place that defied all logic, stalked by an enemy they couldn't see, one that smiled from the shadows. The fog rolled in, thick and white, swallowing the remaining soldiers, and the world outside moved on, never knowing the fate of the patrol the forest had claimed. What happened next is a story for another time. If you want to find out what happened to the rest of Eco 7, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching.